Okay, this is Michael Ann Dillinger, and this is our July Zoom call. And what I want to focus on tonight is setting up your August. Because if you want to have a great August, the time to start is now. Because you want to start to get leads and talk to people. And I want to talk a little bit about, what do you do before you start to get bookings? And one thing is you need to get your calendar ready. You need to pull it out and not only schedule time to actually meet with people, whether it's a one-to-one or whether it's an actual party or a booth or a school or an office. You also want to carve out some time to actually sit down and make follow-up phone calls. Because if you go and you stand at a booth and you get leads, but then you never follow up, then you've kind of wasted your time. And a lot of times people are truly interested, and so when they say no, they don't always mean no. Sometimes they just mean not right now. I have something going on. I have a challenge. I just had another party. So you always want to get their permission to call them back. And usually that's if someone's not quite ready, then I'll ask them, hey, would it be okay if I called you back in a month, 2 months, whatever? And so I actually write it down on my calendar, and when I flip over, I see their name. And most of the time I would have forgotten if I hadn't written it down. So when I give them a call, the words I usually say are, hey, I was looking at my calendar and I saw here a note to call you to follow up about whatever it was that we talked about. And that shows them that I am a professional and that I value what I do. I don't treat it like a hobby. I treat it like a business. Because if I say I'm going to call them back and I don't, then it just kind of looks bad on me that I didn't do what I said I was going to do. So when I do follow up with them, then they know, hey, this person takes her business seriously because that was months ago I talked to her and she's following up. So that means a lot as well. So anyway, get your calendar ready. Make sure you schedule time to actually make phone calls. And great goals are not just necessarily how many you're going to book. I mean, you want to think about that like in a perfect calendar. How many parties, how many consultations, how many Facebook parties, how many, events do you want to do a month? And for some of you, that may be 2 a week. For some, that may just be 2 a month. And that is okay. Whatever pace you want to work your business is totally fine. But you need to kind of know in your own mind what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And then make your goals be activity driven. That's something that Betty Stewart taught me years ago. It's better to set your goals for an activity than for an actual outcome. Because if your goal is, I'm going to talk to 5 people a day, then it's easier to meet that goal than I'm going to book, one thing a day. Because sometimes we can talk to 5 or 6 people, and like I said earlier, some of them may just mean not right now, and we have a great conversation with them, and then we can always follow up later. I know there are people that have told me that they're interested in something, but I don't have it on my calendar yet. But there's no doubt it's going to happen because they're truly interested and I'm following up. So that's another thing that you want to make sure to do. And another reason why you want to set up your August is I happen to know we're going to get a lot of new products. I'm really excited about those of you that are coming to Empower. I know everybody can't make it, and I want to talk about that. Well, I'll do it in just a second. But we are going to have new products, and that is the perfect reason to call your customers. So if you have customers that have bought, or you've talked to them and they haven't bought yet, or you haven't talked to them, I mean, that's basically 3 kinds of people. This is a great reason to call, is to tell them about the new products that we have. And if they're interested, you can always ask if they'd like to get together and do a one-on-one. If they want to bring some people with them, and you could set it up as a party and they can get hostess benefits. So that's just a great reason to call someone, is to let them know what we have that's new. So for those of you that are going to Empower, you'll get to see everything in person, and you'll get a great ordering opportunity. They are going to have some ordering opportunities for those who don't get to go, but it won't be as good of a deal as the ones that actually go to Empower. And if you have not, I think I've talked to a big portion of you, on the team, but if you haven't really thought about going to Empower, the dates are August, I think it's the 2nd, it's that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th. And if you are a new consultant, you can actually go. Rick is doing a special deal, but you have to reserve it by tonight, that you can actually go for $79. For everybody else, it's $199. And a new consultant as of January 1st. So if you joined Truara since January 1st, you can register for $79. And not only that, you get your hotel room paid for if you are a new consultant. So let's just stop for a minute. And if you have been talking to somebody about joining True Aura and they haven't done it yet, if you give them a call tonight, think about this. They could actually join for $15, and then they could go to Dallas for $79. So if you've got somebody that's interested in that, call me afterward, and we will do what we need to do to make it happen. But I'm really looking forward to Empower, and we're going to see all the new stuff. And another reason why August is a good time to book is, summer, everybody's not really on a schedule. They're in and out of town. And with August comes school starting back, so people are in town. They're not traveling, and they're having a schedule now. So it's easier to, summer's always kind of crazy as far as doing the business, but August is always a great time doing a back to school party, or, back to school can mean for the parents too, not just for the kids, and getting everybody on some good skincare. All right, now if y'all have any questions, let me know. If you're on Facebook Live, I can see if you type something, and if you are on Zoom, then I'll be able to see that as well. All right. So what I want to talk about, those are the reasons why you want to get your August booked. And this is, July 15th. So in 2 weeks, it's going to be August. So just kind of focus on some activities that you want to do. Oh, and one other thing I forgot to mention, make sure you stick to your schedule. And, some days you may not have time to make but one phone call. Other times, it may just be following up. But Betty Hughes said one time, and I always remembered it, do something for your business every day. And if you're super slammed, maybe that day you're doing something for your business. It may just be using the products yourself or saying something to someone in passing. So I have a list of activities. I was sitting here thinking, what are things that have worked in the past and that are working now? And if you guys have a suggestion of some things that we can do right now, activity-wise, then pop it in the comments or get on the Zoom. I'd love to see you on the Zoom. I know we have more on Facebook Live than we do on the Zoom tonight. But you can always do a booth or a customer appreciation event. Now, I will caution you, some booths can be very pricey, and I don't really recommend doing a booth that's going to cost hundreds of dollars, because our business is really more one where when we do a booth, it's for leads and for follow-up more so than selling products that day. And there's always an inexpensive, a lot of times you can set up a booth for less than $50, open house, especially around Christmas. Hey, Sharon. So anyway, a booth or a customer appreciation event, go to your local hair salon, wherever you get your hair done, and ask the owner if you can do complimentary facials or even touch up the customer's makeup after they've had their hair done. Sometimes in the shampoo bowl, some of the makeup washes off, and you could just be there and just tell them about the products and offer to do that. You can also do office events. I do have a couple that I'm in the midst of booking, and it's not really an office spa like we used to do, and I need to come up with a catchier name. I think I'm just calling it a True Aura facial day or a True Aura beauty day, where I go in, and if they're at work, they're not going to take their makeup off and they don't have a lot of time. Usually it's going to be a 15-minute block, but you can always have them come back and do the product on the back of their hand and have the hand cream, the body lotion, and the makeup out for them to see and play in, and just give them a little 5-minute, information about the probiotics and how it's clean and what makes us different. But make sure if you do an event, I'll grab one, make sure you have them fill out a form. And I have one right here that I'll show you. I usually have them put their information, and then you can decide whatever this says. And I have downloaded this form before. It's in the file section on the Dillinger Spa Girls page, and I did it in Word so that you can delete. I'll show for the Zoom. I didn't show that side, but you can kind of see that. But you can delete whatever. If this is something that you don't want to use my particular slots here, you can kind of make your own. You can edit it. But I usually tell them when they come in, just put your information, but don't check anything yet. And then I tell them about the products, and then I walk them through each one of these, because I don't want them to check something saying, yeah, they wanted to do a party, but then not realize, what that was. So I just kind of walk them through and explain each step and what that means. And usually down at the bottom, I have them put, I'll put like, send me a link to your Facebook group. I'm interested in a party, a one-on-one consultation, a Facebook event, something like that. So you can just decide what you want that to be, but this is how you follow up. And I know I went live last week and told y'all a funny story, but I actually had a stack of these leads that I have contacted in the past, and sometimes I just left a voicemail or they said call them back and we just never were able to connect. But I'm like, I'm going to go through these one more time and sort them. And the ones that I actually maybe actually speak to somebody or I get a response, then I'll put those in one stack, and the rest of them I'll just kind of retire those. And there was one that I had talked to in December of 2017. It was 2 months before True Aura opened, and I actually had done a booth just to tell about the products, and I had followed up over the years, and we never had gotten together. And I called her the other day, and what's funny, I didn't realize that we both have a child in band together. So she knew who I was, and she remembered meeting me, and we actually have set up a consultation for next week. So this is a lead that's a year and a half old, and I actually got a consultation book from it. So just goes to show it's best to follow up when the leads are fresh and they still remember who you are. If you haven't gotten in touch with them or you haven't set something up, it's okay to call back, but it's very, very much easier when you call them right away within a couple of days of doing the booth. That way they remember who you are. Talk to people in your path. We all have people, maybe people that you work with or your neighbors or people you go to church with. If you have kids and they're in activities, just think about wherever you go, everybody you see has skin, and they all need good skincare products. And a lot of times people hear True Aura Beauty and their first response is, oh, I don't wear makeup. Then I tell them, then that is totally fine. Then you're really going to want to meet with me, because if you're not wearing makeup, you really want to make sure you're taking good care of your skin. And we could totally do a consultation and never even bring makeup out, because to me, the skincare is the most important thing I can share with you anyway. So I try to emphasize the skincare, because no matter how much you say skincare, some people just automatically link to the makeup side of it, and they think it's really not for them. Also, consider attending a networking event. There is probably a Chamber of Commerce in your area, and there is probably a BNI, Business Network International, chapter near you. And I know with BNI, you can do bni.com and you can search for a chapter in your area. Doesn't mean you have to actually join. I personally have been in a BNI group for about 9 years. My child that just started 9th grade was in kindergarten when I joined mine. And the thing about a BNI chapter is we track how much business we get from it. And I've actually gotten over $80,000 in business in the 8 or 9 years that I've been in BNI. So that averages out to be quite a bit. Now, that's not all personal sales. That's if I recruit somebody through there and something that they ordered. So we track everything, but that's business that leads back up that I've actually benefited from. But if you just want to go and visit a chapter, even if you don't join, you're going to meet people that day. You can call your local Chamber of Commerce or find out if they have a Facebook page. And they're usually always doing like a breakfast event or a luncheon. And most of the time you do not have to be a member to attend those. Usually the perks, if you're a member, they're going to promote your business and you do get a break. Like, for example, if it's a luncheon, you may not pay as much if you're a member, but I do recommend joining your local Chamber of Commerce. And if you join, don't just join and go to the events, because if you just join in name only, you really kind of wasted your money. But if you take the time to build those relationships, whether it be, and I'm involved in both the Chamber and BNI, and I really, that's a great source of leads for me. Wear your name badge. If you don't have one, get with me and I'll tell you how you can earn one. I'm not wearing mine now, but a lot of times I wear my name badge if I'm out. If I'm out doing chamber stuff, I wear my True Aura name badge. And if I'm out even grocery shopping, I wear it. And people will ask a lot of times, what do you do? Are you a realtor? I get that a lot. People think I'm a realtor. I don't know why. But anyway, I am in sales. I'm just in skincare sales. Okay, have any of you guys done the travel and spa basket yet? And or the travel and facial basket, we got to quit calling it spa. I really like doing this because in the beginning, I tried to make up a lot of, and if you're just joining us, I'm just throwing out a lot of activities. So that's why this may seem a little bit disjointed. Just some ideas of activities we can do in July to actually set up August and have a successful August. But in the beginning, I was making up samples. Well, it was hard to make the samples come out exactly right. They run out of one thing for another. And another thing about giving people samples is they're going to save them, or they're going to wait till they go on a trip, use them then, and it's hard to get them to use it. But with the travel and spa basket, I let them keep it for a whole week, because they really can tell a difference if they use all 7 of our products for a week. And I just tell them to take a before picture, and I explain how I want them to do it, either in the bathroom, where you have bright light, or in front of a window. Use the same lighting both times. And even if the picture never leaves their phone, I want them to take a before and after picture. I would never use it without them giving me permission. But all of my before and after pictures that I've gotten, that's how I did it. I loaned people the products for a week, and they did that. And that's another way you can say, hey, I need some before and after models. So who wants to use this product for a week? So it's totally up to you how you do that if you want to. Now, you can do a basket with just the maintenance. They're not necessarily going to see a very big difference. They'll feel it, and they'll be able to, but it won't be like visible, anti-aging. They won't see as much of that with just the maintenance. So totally up to you how you do it, but you can put that together, and just you make arrangements to drop it off, and you make arrangements to pick it up. Don't leave it up to them to bring it back. You just go ahead and make those arrangements when you drop it off. Give them, instructions on how to use it. Call them 3 or 4 days in, see if they have any questions. And then after the end of that week, if they love the product and they want to order, you can tell them about TLC, you can tell them about being a hostess, or they just may want to purchase retail. But I do recommend, that's a great way. And when you get your own before and after pictures, then that's cool, because when you're showing the before and after pictures, you can tell everybody, this is one of my customers, or this is, whatever, this is my sister, or whoever it is. And that way it gives it a little bit more credibility. Okay, you can do samples. Now, I like, if they're going to use a set, I like for them to use the full-size pieces, so that, anyway, I just like doing that. But sometimes people may just want to try the moisturizer or just the cleanser, or I have been putting samples of the hand cream and the body lotion in anytime someone orders off my shelf. Then I've been sticking that in there and just writing on it what it is. And I just bought, I think it's 60 jars from Amazon, the little tiny 3-ounce. It said 120 pieces. I'm assuming 60 lids, 60 jars. And I think it was about $12 or $13. So I didn't think that was bad for that 60 samples that I'll be able to mix up. And always just to add a little extra in there, put a little sample of something in there. Always wrap it in tissue. Now, I know right now people are ordering off of our website, and that's totally cool. But if you do have something on your shelf, just make it a little extra special. You can also hand out samples, like maybe the lady at your bank or somebody at church, and you can hand out samples and then follow up. Don't just give it to them. I wouldn't recommend just giving them to a stranger, but people that you see in your path, so that it's a little bit easier to follow up and just ask them how they liked it. Also, business cards. If you don't have business cards, that's a great idea, and you can get them done fairly inexpensive at Vistaprint. And if you've never ordered from them, it's vistaprint.com, and you can design them yourself. I'll show you mine. Oh, pardon me. I actually went in there and I got this picture. I'll show for the Zoom. It's a little blurry, but I got the picture off of the back office, and I just put the words in there. And I made the edges round. I paid a little extra for that. And then on the back, it just has our logo. So it's just a real clean business card. So I don't remember what I paid for them, but they were very, very affordable. So have business cards everywhere you go and hand those out. And we also want to talk about social media. So if you guys have been doing anything on social media, please let me know what's working for you. We have so many options. If you don't have a Facebook group or a Facebook page, I recommend, and let me explain what the difference is. I actually have both. And the Facebook page is like a public page. Anybody in the world can go in there and like it, but it's not going to come up in your news feed unless you pay to boost it. But it's good to have a page, because if somebody is searching, that's what's going to come up. A closed group is one where only people that have been invited are in that group. Like I can send you a link and you can join my group, or they can request to be added. But when I post something, only people inside that group are going to see it. So I use that for like my core clients. And if I'm going to have a sale or a special or a drawing, I do it within my group, because these are my customers. These are people that support me and are actually interested. But again, if somebody is searching and they just type in True Aura Beauty, it's going to go, it's not going to go to my group, it's going to go to the page. So the page is good, kind of like a little public website on Facebook. I don't update the page as much. I update it maybe once a week, so that if someone does happen to get on there, they can see that it's a fresh page. It's not something that nobody's updated it for 6 months or so. But you can do all kinds of stuff on Facebook. Now there's a statistic, I think, if you post business on your personal wall more than 1 in 10 times, people tend to not read it. And we all have friends like that every time you see something on Facebook, it's about their business or trying to get you to join their team or whatever. And that's not wrong to do that, because we all should post occasionally on our homepage. But if we post too often, people don't read it. So that's why I try to do most of my posting within my group or on my page. But every once in a while, I'll share something on my personal page, especially like if I'm going to have a sale. I'll say, hey, I'm going to do a sale over here on my VIP client group, and if you're not in my group but you'd like to be, comment below. And it's funny, usually most of the people that comment are already in my page. They just want to make sure they don't miss the sale. But that's good too, because that lets you know what they're interested in. So that's a great way to promote it. Also, doing things on your story as opposed to just posting it. People a lot of times will tend to go through those stories faster than they will the news feed, and that's something I need to do a little bit more of myself. Facebook parties, there's a lot of different ways to do those. I have been doing mine where it's done in an hour. I think I'm going to go back to doing it over the period of a week. I was just invited to my niece had a pampered chef party, and it went on for like a week or so. And I know I went on there every day and saw what was going on, commented. I actually won the gift. She kept doing guessing games and contests, and what you would win would be tickets for the drawing. So you don't actually have to give a gift away every time you do a game or a prize. So I definitely need to add some more games to my Facebook party, and then give out tickets. And then you can just do one prize at the end. So there's a lot of different, and look, when people invite you to these Facebook parties, join, because you're going to get some great ideas. And chances are, you may end up, getting an idea that really works for you. And I'm sure they've gotten ideas from other people too. And most people in direct sales are great about sharing. So that's another thing. And you can always do, schedule Facebook parties with your customers. But here's the trick with Facebook parties. A lot of times people think, oh, well, that's the easy way to have a party. And it is pretty easy, but they have to do their part to set it up. They can't just invite people on Facebook and expect them to get on, because we get so many invitations a day to stuff. And if you don't respond, you never see another notification. If someone responds yes or maybe, then they get the notifications. So you need to let your hostess know when she has a Facebook party, she needs to either call, text, or personally message her guest. Don't invite 300 people. Keep it to really 30 or less, because if you invite too many, then people think, oh, well, she's just inviting everybody. But if it's a smaller group, or maybe even text or call or message them first and say, hey, I'm doing a True Aura Facebook party. Would you be interested in hopping on? We're going to do games and prizes and learn about probiotic skincare. And you can even type up the verbiage and then make sure that they personally invite. It's just as if you were having a party at your house. Remember back in the day when we would get the guest list and we would mail postcards to the guest, and if you mailed 30 postcards but the hostess didn't pick up the phone and call any of them, you probably weren't going to have but 1 or 2 people that came. But if the hostess picked up the phone and said, did you get your card, are you coming, and then called the day of or the day before and said, don't forget the parties tomorrow night, we all know that greatly increased the attendance. And it's the same thing with Facebook. If you're going to have someone host a Facebook party, don't let it be a waste of your time. You actually need to make sure the hostess knows her responsibility as the hostess is to actually get on here. And I'll just give you an example. I had someone that booked a party from a party, so I've never met this lady before. I had a hard time getting her on the phone to even set the party up. That should have been my first clue right there. I hostess coached. I told her everything. She put the people in, said she was following up. The night of her party, nobody got on. Even she didn't get on. So that's the importance of actually following up. Now, it's totally fine. I went ahead and did the whole thing just as if I had 20 people on there, because you never know when someone may go back and watch it. And also, it was good practice for me. I had added a couple things, and you can pre-schedule your Facebook parties to where they post for you, so you're not having to do it. I have all my verbiage written. I have all my posts done. So you can pre-schedule them through Facebook as long as it's a public event, not a private event. So all I have to do during the party is go on there and monitor comments, and then I go live a couple times. But again, I've done it over the course of a week. I've done it in an hour. I'm going to go back to over the course of a week just because I think you probably get more traffic. But give me your thoughts and feedback on that. I'm always looking for better ways to do it. And, if something's not working real well for me, then, and again, this lady that didn't get on, her hostess didn't get on, had I done it over the course of a week, that would have given me more time to follow up with her and say, hey, make sure your guests are, they realize we've got our party going on. Okay, any comments or questions or feedback? All right, well, let me know what is your goal for August. Think about it yourself, and if you want to share it with me, I'd love to hear it. If you need any help or you want some one-on-one, you want to call me, we can chat. We can set the time up to do that. I'd love to. I love hearing from y'all. I'd rather hear from you as to not hear from you, because if you call me, I know you want to talk. So call me anytime, and I look forward to what's going on in Empower. I will keep you guys posted as best I can. I'll go live a few times, I'm sure, and show you what's going on. And I just hate that you can't all go with me. And we will do another Zoom call when I get back. Have a great day.